Hello everyone, Auvbri here and welcome back to another speed build here in The Sims 4. Today we are trying to rebuild this sucker. So this is what we have here. This is the Spencer Kim Lewis or Lewis Spencer Kim whatever lot in The Sims 4 Willow Creek. So just taking a look around here at the original lot. I did actually end up speeding up this build quite a lot because we did this over 2 live streams and it was actually about 2 hours each for those live streams, so it was a very big build to redo. But yeah, we're just taking a look around here. We have Granny's what should we call it, like room garden area. It was actually really messy. There was just something about it that I didn't like. This is probably one of my favorite builds in the vanilla game of The Sims 4, but there's just a lot of stuff missing. A lot of inconsistencies, a lot of very strange design choices, guys. So we're looking at it here and I tell you, honey, this is just not good. Like, we don't like this. It, like the yellow and the orange, the pinks, Jesus, no, we gotta get rid of that. So this is what the house looked like before I got my grubby little hands on it. And as I said, we did this on a live stream, and if you want to get in on the next live stream, all you gotta do is to hit the notification bell down below, and then you can get in on when the live streams are. So I upload every single weekday, so Monday through Friday. It is very different when I live stream, so hitting that notification bell is the best way for you to actually figure out when the live stream is. So when The Sims 4 first came out, they were having this huge deal with all of these, oh look at us, we can do curves, we can do all of this and that and blah blah blah, and it was all good. It was all good. Let me just get this closer actually. It was all good back in the day, but going into 2020 here, I was just like, I am over the curves. I'm over the swerves and the curves. The only place that belong, honey, is in the park that we did a rebuild of. So we actually went in on the build here and I actually replaced all of the curves with some more, you know, inline, harsh lines, like square lines. I thought that looked better. I wanted to keep the original integrity of the build, so I actually ended up still using blue whites in the build. We still use the big windows. I actually changed the wall height on the 2 upper levels, so only the lower level has the medium wall height. The 2 upper levels now has the smallest wall height. The reason for that is the build was so tall. Like, it was ridiculously tall before, and it just didn't fit. And then we have this green house in the back where I was like, no, that does not work for me. I hate that. So we actually took the green color, I changed it out for a brick color instead, because I still wanted to keep some of the natural looking colors of the build, and bringing in that natural element, moving that roof the hell out of the way because that was bad. That was so bad looking, and doing some more of these sharp curves. So on the side of the build, you can see it right now, they actually have this triangle that it goes out of the build. I thought that was really cool. I actually liked that a lot, so I actually decided to keep that but run with it. So we actually end up using that triangle in a lot of different places. We actually also end up adding triangles to to the build. So we do love some triangles, mama. And for some reason, the way that the Sims team built this house, like the roofing piece was not a room, so technically some part of this build was not a room. And that, I don't know, sometimes it just baffles me how they actually execute stuff in this game. It's a bit weird to me. I actually had to move the lot over just 1 tile because grandma here needed an updated room, an updated area for her to live. And the way that she actually entered into her backyard area, so her gardening area, was not okay with me. I needed to fix that. It was not good. I really appreciate the way that that the garden looks. I love the feel of it. I tried to keep that. I modernized it a bit, but I tried to keep the same feel of it. But I needed to update grandma's living spaces as well. Seeing that she has her own space, so I really wanted to make sure that it was still up to date and she still had a lot of room. Here we're adding one more triangular element to the builds, and I actually ended up throwing in a lot of pieces to this build that have grass, because for me, we're adding it right now. For me, adding grass to this, and I did this way before eco living was even a thing. I swear to Jesus, I did. So all of my modern builds, I always love to have sort of an element of having this, bringing the green into the build, you know? So doing these grass exterior works on the roofing pieces and on the sides like we do here actually allows you to open up the area a bit more and kind of blend the build into the surrounding areas, and also make it so it's not so harsh to the eye, so it's not so like modern and just, you know, right in. So that's why I like to do that, because it just adds an element to the build that you wouldn't otherwise see, and it kind of helps break it up a bit. So I decided to also add it to the roof, just to create something different looking. Down here at Grandma's place, also got like a little makeover with the with the green stuff. But yeah, that's what I really like to do. Again, doing this on live stream, guys, is so much fun for me, because I get the input of all of you guys, as well as, you know, just hanging out with all of you. So that is the main reason that I like to live stream, because I get to hang out with a lot of cool people, a lot of people who have been with the channel for a very long time, and I really appreciate that. And you might be asking me, hey Auvbri, why are you not streaming on Twitch? Because like Twitch hates me. It like they just are not cooperative. So I'm just over that. I am not gonna stream on Twitch. They don't want to help me with certain points that is actually key factors for you to earn money and actually be a successful Twitch streamer. They didn't want to help me with that, even though it's a problem with their website. So I'm no honey, no mama, no, not gonna do that. So we moved on. We're on YouTube here and we're loving it. So one thing I actually did with this build in particular in the window department is it was very important for me to keep the overall placement of the windows mostly the same. So the reason for that is when I do these rebuild The Sims 4 builds that we do here, for me it's not about totally redoing all of what the Sims team have done, because that's not what I'm about. I can see the beauty in almost everything that they have done, almost everything, but for me, it's about taking something that they have done and giving it a makeover. So you can still see the identity, still see the overall shell and the overall look of the house as being the same, without me actually having to update it too much. But I still want to put my own flair on it as well. That is very important for me to say. But I never go into any of these builds just thinking, ha, we're gonna fucking destroy this build today. So that's never what I want to do. I'm sorry for swearing, guys, but we're trying something new on the channel here, and now I actually have like a little box that I can tick whenever YouTube is like, oh, you were swearing. No, I'm allowed to, because I checked the box. So that's great. But we're out here in Grandma's backyard, and I really loved the way that it was before. I wanted to modernize it a bit, but still keep it so she had all of her stuff, lots of plants, and you know, these little hints of old ladyism that was in here before, because I really like that. So I kept the gnomes, I kept the pot planters, the little, I don't even know what to call it, like wheelbarrow weird trolley thingy with plants on it, and her bench I kept. So I kept a lot of stuff, and I just added some stuff, gave her a bit more of a bigger backyard for her to actually do what she loves doing. And yeah, I think we're almost done outside, I believe. So we're just adding some stuff. The ground floor here that we have is actually let me just see. Oh yeah, so what we have down here where I'm adding the columns right now, I wanted to still keep that down raised garden, but I wanted to add a new element to it, so it just wasn't like a garden that you could walk through. So I thought making that into a terrace area with, you know, a barbecue area, and actually adding in a pool, because we have pools now in the base game, would be a bit more exciting. So that's what we ended up doing. Still kept a lot of our plants down here as well, but you know, I still wanted to add some of the new stuff that we actually have with the build now that there's all of these new base game items, which is actually also why I decided to do all of these rebuild The Sims 4, because the base game is just miles better than it was before, which is fantastic for someone like me who loves to build, but we're like, the base game is just lacking something, honey, and I don't know what it is, but it lacked. And now, like, I swear to God, Mama Roo ascended onto our computers. She was like, girl, we need to give you what you want. And so she gave us what we wanted. Now we can all place doors and windows, guys. That is just in my head. So Mama Roo is always looking out for us, and she's like, yes, mama, honey, girl, henny, all that good stuff, and she just provides. We ask, she provides. Praise Mama Roo. But base game is not the same thing as it was before, and I really just enjoy that a lot. We've moved inside here, and we're gonna take a look at what we can actually do with the so yeah, we're in here in the interior work, and what was really important for me is when you go into this Spencer Lewis Kim, or Kim Lewis Spencer, or whatever, the Cypress Terrace, I believe the lot is called. What was really important for me was to keep the interior work intact, if that makes sense. In my head it makes sense, but for me it was very important that you were like, you could go into this house and still see the identity of the original house. So kind of like what we did with the exterior work, I wanted to use the color themes that they had. I changed some of them. I actually took some of them and just ran with it, like the bar area we have here, but some of the placements of the items they use and some of the furniture placements just don't make sense. So I actually ended up changing a lot of those as well, just to make it a bit more sense. And remember, this build is totally vanilla game, so there's no expansion packs, no CC, no nothing, just base game stuff. So this is what you can do with base game. Base game has gotten a long way, and jokes aside with the Mama Roo thing, she has come a long way, base game, and it's not what it used to be. Like, base game is so much different than when I started playing The Sims 4, and I can honestly say that base game Sims 4, especially with the updates that they've continued to provide, is miles better than it ever was before. So it's definitely worth getting. I removed some walls down here. I actually changed some of the room layouts, but mostly the rooms themselves are in the same locations. I just changed where some of the placements are. So for example, here we have a nice big dining room table, which when you look at it right now is like a good placement. You wouldn't go like, oh, that doesn't fit there. No, it actually fits very well. It makes sense because it is right next to the kitchen. That wasn't the case before. So there's a lot of the placements where I just updated where they were actually supposed to be. So just that it made a bit more sense. I wanted to also keep the color themes. So here it was very brown and gray and drab. So I actually took the theme from the room next door, which was blue and yellow, which they used themselves, and actually ran with it to make it a bit more exciting as well. Going into the kitchen area here, now this is probably the most confusing room for me, except for the one on the 3rd floor. We're gonna get to that. But the kitchen is like, it's so big and there's so much space, and half of it is not used at all in a proper way. So what I wanted to do when I went into this build, especially with the kitchen, was, because I'm a chef, I need my kitchens to look good. I need them to be functional. I need them to look good. So going into this challenge and into this rebuild, I knew that the kitchen for me was one of my number one priorities. I needed the horrible blue color to go and just run with a nice, clean, lined white kitchen. I still kept the bar stools the same, so we still have the orange color, because again, getting some of the identity from the old build in here is very important for me, so you don't just go, no, I don't know what that room is. So we also put in a orange chair. I threw in some more greenery stuff and some stuff on the walls, and then in here I also put in a very small dining room table, not as big as the one outside, because I feel like that would be more formal, whereas the one in the kitchen would be more like here and now eating. Going into grandma's room, the first thing we needed to tackle, honey, was the bathroom, because we kind of messed that up when we stretched and pulled and whatever else we did in this, honey. So I actually went in here, very simple looking, still the same tiles, still the same stuff. I just changed out the bathtub to a shower instead. That's it. All of the furniture in here in Granny's room as well is the same furniture as before. I didn't actually add anything. I just recolored stuff. That's actually the case with most of the builds here. I didn't really add too much stuff. I would say I probably added in the interior work here 10 to 15% furniture myself. The rest of it is just recoloring. Like, that's it. Recoloring and repositioning is really all I did with this build, which is also a good way for me to show you guys that you can actually get a very long way with just recoloring and repositioning a lot of the items that the Sims team actually puts into the build. But I really love the way that this room turned out, Granny's room. It's a very work inspired room, so very work heavy. She has her working station and still her bed theme and the yellow theme on the walls as well. Going upstairs here, now this room up here, for the love of mother and all that is good in Mama Roo, what the heck is this room? This is the most confusing room I've ever seen. Like, is it a hobby room? Is it a music room? Is it like a little computer area? Is it a library? Nobody seemed to know. So I actually put it upon myself to totally fix this room. We opened up the space so it wouldn't be so big. With a new staircase, you could actually see the whole way down, which you could not do before. I feel like that makes a lot more sense in a build like this where it's so big. We're gonna get back to that room, trust me, but we had to fix the atrocity that is the pink room. We had so much fun on live stream about this room because this room was hideous. I tried my best, guys, I really did, to make the pink work, but we had to introduce a white colored wall. Just one white colored wall. And the reason for that is, otherwise it looked horrible. Like, there was just way too much pink stuff. So I actually also recolored some of the furniture already in here. I added some furniture because it's probably the biggest children's room in the world. Like, we're not gonna lie, it's so big. But yeah, I mean, I just wanted to keep this room as it is. If I'm looking red in the webcam, by the way, it's because it's so hot in here, you wouldn't even know. Going into this room as well, this room really had an identity crisis for me because there was 3 main colors in here. Pink, kind of like this brown white theme with the furniture, and then green, like lime green. That makes no sense. That's again like it makes no sense to me. So we wanted to fix that, and I wanted to keep some element of the original bathroom in here as well. So we just added some white stuff and a few white walls in here as well, a white tiled flooring, and still kept the back wall splash pink or whatever you want to call that color. But that's it. We're actually almost done with the video, guys, and this is the first time I have webcam really on a video. So tell me in the comment section down below how you feel about the webcam, because I'm actually gonna sign off before the outro video of the tour. But before we do that, I just want to say thank you so much for watching. We do the last room here. Tell me again in the comment section down below what you thought about me doing webcam, because this is what it's gonna be like. I can be more myself and be more like I am on the live streams. Again, notification bell if you want to get in on a live stream. That's it. And I think I'm done here, guys. So transition. Boom. Okay. I was just waiting for it, but I haven't done the outro yet. But I just want to say thank you so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed this video, especially with my beautiful face on it. Yeah, just have a truly fantastic day wherever you are in the world, and I will see you next time for another video. Bye, guys.